Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, today we're going to be talking about self-love. Yes? So, I know that, it's a very touchy subject. It's very personal to many people. I'm just going to share how I've done it for myself. And hopefully something might help, something that I say might help someone. Or if you have something you'd like to share to help others, please, after hitting the subscribe button, go ahead and leave a comment below. That will be able to help all of us. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Obviously, I am a island woman. I don't know if the accent is coming through, but I was born on the islands. I am a black female, as you can see, and all that goes along with it. If you can relate, you can relate. If not, I'm a woman, just like you probably. So I know that growing up as a young woman, television was huge, as it is now, internet and phones and so on, and magazines. I was not much of a magazine reader, so I didn't really get caught up in that whole thing of wanting to look or do things like I see people do in magazines when I was younger, but it was more so television. And back then, the television I was watching did not have a lot of someone that looks like myself, that was considered pretty, that was considered beautiful or anything. I honestly don't watch a lot of television. My self-confidence growing up as a young female was that I needed to look different. I needed to be, thin, to have long hair, and just be pretty. And, for those of us that can relate, I needed to certainly be lighter because I'm a dark-skinned woman. So all these are the things that I was growing up with, that was really putting a hurting on my self-esteem. So the idea of not being enough was a problem, but it was what I grew up with. So in my mind, I was not enough. So when and if a boy had an interest in me, I thought, oh my gosh, like it was a huge deal. And so because of that, when I became an adult, or young adult rather, I made a lot of decisions based off of those feelings of not feeling enough, pretty enough, or thin enough, or whatever enough. And I recall that the way that I wanted to protect myself, or I learned to protect myself, was to build a wall. To build a wall and block every hurtful thing or any person that I thought would hurt me. I would leave them out. So as a teen, I'm still feeling this way, but I'm shy. If I liked someone, I certainly would never tell them. And if they would happen to look my way, all that sort of stuff that most of us young girls at the time, or at this time, still goes through. And like I said, I made a lot of I wouldn't say I made a lot of mistakes, but I believed a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And because of that, I thought my options were very limited. Yeah, so that was the beginning of not self-love, right? And I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but that was sort of like how I viewed myself. For some reason, I remember this specific age. I don't know if it was mentally when I made the decision. I don't know, someone had hurt me or something had happened. And I said to myself, I am beautiful. I mean, I don't know if I verbalized it, but I remember thinking, you know what? I'm beautiful regardless of whoever believes it or not. And regardless of what anybody says. I wasn't bullied necessarily, and I wasn't actively told that I'm not beautiful and so on, but I felt that way, and it seemed like I would always hang around those that others considered to be beautiful, and I was always kind of like that third wheel or whatever. So it was not fun, but I remember feeling like I'm beautiful. So I put that in my mind, and then I enclosed myself. I walled everybody out, and it was just me, myself, and I just enjoying the fact that we believe that we're beautiful no matter what. I feel like that worked for me, honestly, because since then, I always had this confidence that I know that I'm beautiful. I know, I look in the mirror and this and that and the other. And I would constantly, I don't know if it was kind of like a muscle, like you're working it out. You keep saying that to yourself, you keep believing, and eventually you believe it. I don't know. But whatever it is that I did, it somehow worked to make me feel like I discovered myself, like I knew that I was beautiful. But I also understood that I'm not everybody else's type of beautiful, but I am my type of beautiful. If I want to look better in some kind of way or do something different with myself, I'm going to start with myself and then see if this thing works for me and if it looks good for me and on me. As far as body, now I feel like not only am I a beautiful woman, but I have a beautiful body. Now, I know that the traditional body is a certain type of way, and I don't think we should really down talk or talk badly about each other for having bodies that we were born with or whatever may have happened. I think we just really need to learn to appreciate our individual bodies, and if somebody wants to look a certain kind of way or whatever, that's their decision, it's their body. Really, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just gonna be concentrated and focused on my body and what I want to do with it. And so I think we have to understand our own bodies, right? So I look at my mother and I see exactly the kind of body that I'm probably going to have as I grow older. And I can only go off of that. You have to work with whatever you have as yourself and try to, if you want to change anything about it, start with yourself and what you would like to see yourself look like. I think it becomes very dangerous when we look at someone else that looks completely nothing like us and say, I want that. It could be very discouraging and so on. So at the age of 23, like I said, I'd already made a decision that from here all the way down to my toes was absolutely beautiful. And if there was anything that I wanted to change, that I could do so, but I didn't have to. So now at the age of 44, starting to see things go south. So I wanted to take control of that, and I decided to start weight training. I have an idea in my mind as to how I want to look. Now, when I have gone outside of myself to look at inspiration, if you will, I've looked at people who have my body type, that are about the same height as me, who have the same kind of body composition as me, because what I'm personally am looking to do is to tone. The short end of it is self-confidence is super, super important. I think it's very difficult to have it if you're looking at someone other than yourself. And I haven't attained or achieved anything, but this is the way that I've chosen to live my life. I don't wake up every day thinking, oh my gosh, you're like the bomb or whatever. But in those days, it's like, meh. But I don't let it go on too long because I know it could do a number on my self-esteem. But even if I was to get up and kind of feel that way, never would I allow somebody else to make me or tell me that I am that way. I take control of that. And just because someone doesn't view your type of beauty as beauty, what does that even matter? Everybody has their own. So I encourage us to look in the mirror, and if you want to make any kind of improvements, start with the person in the mirror and have realistic goals as to what you want to accomplish. Nothing that lasts happens like this. It takes time. It takes work. It takes effort. Please take this. You are beautiful. You are enough.